Let's go. No, let's not. Let's start over. Be all subdued. Yes, today it's gotten frickin' cold over there, even though that's where the purples were, I think, as recent, that's the word I'm looking for, as yesterday. It was in like the hundreds over in Arizona, now it's in the flippin' 70s, and apparently if you go slightly north, it's in the 40s. Here's from the Department of Because I Can. This is the new lastearthquake.com. It's a one-trick pony site. All it shows you is the last earthquake, which was apparently a 1.6 magnitude earthquake in Southern California. So it's near the Santa Rosa historic area in Tamaulipas. I don't know, I can't pronounce any of those things. And there's a zoomed out view of where it is. So big shock there, California, you know, ends up being the latest. Now, it's kind of hidden, but if you scroll down, there's actually links to other areas. Only a few, you know, because you're not going to want to know, what was it, South Dakota has not had an earthquake, a sizable earthquake, like ever, if I remember right. It was one of those states. I don't know. And that's Puerto Rico in the USA, of course. Lots of Puerto Rico and Alaska, which, you know, I'm going to come up with a page now for, give me the latest earthquakes in the, what do they call it, the contiguous United States. I've also seen the word Cautominis, or however it's pronounced. I have no idea what either of those words mean. Here is the craziest color set that I have seen this season, including all kinds of things I have no idea what it is. This, I think, let's start over here. There's fewer colors over there. I think that's frost advisory and winter storm or warning. Nope. It's freeze warning. It was a warning, at least. Frost advisory there. Okay, so frost advisory, freeze warning, red flag warning. We know this shade of pink. I have no idea what that is. It's ugly, though. High wind warning, and that happens to also be where we've got a slight risk of severe weather today. Okay, I think this lighter shade of pink is the winter storm warning. Righto, so we've got purple, which is a winter weather advisory. Look at all of those things. How are you supposed to remember what's what? I don't even know. And over here we have flood warning, I think. Short-term forecast, right, it could mean anything. Dark brown, that means high wind watch. Right, wouldn't it be helpful, maybe you can or can't, let's see what happens. Nope. Wouldn't it be helpful if you could highlight, you know, hover over it, and it would tell you what it means, but no. Oh, and that's a slightly different shade, isn't it? Have we seen this? Winter weather advisory. What was the dark blue again? Right. I love my colours. Freeze. Hard freeze warning. So we've got freeze watch, freeze warnings, hard freeze warning. I will have to look that up. Or, you know, I'll find out, because it's getting to be weather time. It's getting to be winter time, is what I meant to say. Here's a fun looking map because it's white. This is the first time I've ever seen whites on it. Heavy snow possible up there. So over here, severe weather, snow. Well, you know, traditional spring-ish type weather. Here's the drought monitor map that always looks like that. That's where you're gonna get a whole bunch of water in the next 5 days. And this is the most that I've seen it, I think, in quite some time over the land. 6.8 inches, and that's in the areas that could really use it for once. And we have 11 locations in flood. I think that's new. Arizona, West Virginia, I don't know where that is. I'm real good with the names of the states, aren't I? That, I think, is, let's see, that's California, obviously. That's New York. That's Idaho, the potato state. Oh, look, if I hover over it, it'll tell me what it is. That makes me feel even more like an expletive deleted. Right, so here we go with actual severe weather is happening or something. There's your slight risk area for today and a whole bunch of states here. Oh, here's the mesoscale discussion where we look at stuff like blah bitty blah 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 and lots of bars. Those are like wind barbs, if I remember right. And we don't know what that means, so we'll move on to the watch area. There's your current severe thunderstorm watch in quite a few states. And there is, at least at the time I refreshed the page, a severe thunderstorm warning in South Dakota. And where it's going that way, apparently. Here are the specific probabilities of severe wind, or vind, or a word like that. The probability of severe hail, and your 5% chance of a tornado. How about that? Wait, that's a bad thing. I shouldn't sound so excited. Here's tomorrow's slight risk that's reaching through quite a large area of the, what do they call that? The nation's midsection, because it's like a good kick in the pants to the nation's midsection is what that phrase always makes me think of. The 5% area is not much larger than the slight risk area tomorrow. That's fantastic. And we have two things. I had to look this up. There's Irwin and Hoover. Here's where I found it. Hoover. Right, so it must be a Spanish tornado? It's not Jova. Irwin, where's Irwin going? Irwin is going backwards. And is, wow, that's the first time I've seen one, like, book that direction. And gonna be a hurricane, too, apparently. So, going to hit probably there-ish, I'm not sure. And another one that's going backwards. Hoover, gonna be a hurricane as well, gonna hit Mexico. You know, that must have been why they named him that. It makes sense or something, I don't know. And here's Hurricane Felipe, who's not anywhere near the United States. Going to die off at some point, like hurricanes are prone to do. They don't last forever, thank Jeebs. You know, because that would suck a lot. That is a crazy, you know, spaghetti-looking map. That is either Hoover or Irwin. I'm not sure. That's Irwin, I think. I don't know. I'm real informed on these things. See, they're like right next to each other and the map is different. That's my excuse. So, yeah, apparently Hoover and Irwin are gonna hit Mexico. So we keep an eye on that like we always do. And hey, there's actually something to look at today on wickedwix.com. So stop by. It's WICKEDWX. Oh yeah. Or you can stop by the one-trick pony site, lastearthquake.com.